this is Lainey-chan from deviantart, and I'm going to show you how to use Miku Miku Dance as soon as Shinigami Sharingan stops IMing me. I'm recording now. This is like the third time I've done this one because I messed up on the first one because my mom walked in on me. Then the second one I forgot to record all the sound. So this is the third one, and she's IM'd me during all three. So I'm going to open up Miku Miku Dance now, and I'm going to teach you how to use it. Now I'm going to start by teaching you how to load and make a model move, because that's what you really need to do in Miku Miku Dance. So let's load Kaito, because everyone seems to love him for some reason. And here he is being all Kaito-ish. Woo! Oh my god, if you did that to me, I'd get so dizzy. So now let's put his arms down, because that's really, really tiring to keep your arms out like that all day. I'm sorry, I'm tired. That and you'd look like a bird and people would stare at you. So let's have Kaito blink. Damn, I forgot to tell you to do something important. When you put his arms down, you have to press select all, and you have to hit register. So that way when you don't move frames, he stays the same. So let's make him blink. Here is his facial manipulation, and remember when I told you to select all? Select all selects all of the bones. Instead of selecting each bone and pressing register, because that's a pain in the ass, you can just hit select all and register. But the thing is, that doesn't apply for the facial manipulation, which sucks because you could like have him singing the whole time, but you would keep pressing select all, and then he wouldn't be singing at all. So this is for his eyes. You can have him blink, and you can have him have like a grinny face, or you can have him wink at you, or wink in a different way, which I didn't know you could do. Or you can have him be a spaz, or be all like sleepy, or be like, oh my gosh. And yeah, so let's have him blink, register, select all, register, and then notice I did that 10 frames in. Now watch. We start at 0, and then I didn't even make any of these frames. They did themselves on their own, because Miku Miku Dance does that. So no complaining that it takes too long to make every frame by frame, because that's not how the software is used. You have to do it like skip a lot of frames. So now let's have him open his eyes, and we have to hit the register button on here and the select all, register. So now his eyes are open, and this is the play button, and this is the repeat button. So you know what all that means. So play. There, now he's blinking. Alright, he looks retarded. Let's stop him. Now you can delete all of your file. Now that's how you delete all your frame information. That's how I do it anyway. If it's all gray and it's not highlighted anymore, you can't really delete it. So what I do is I hit select all and register, and then delete. But for the facial expressions, I do the same thing. I just hit register and then I delete it. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be using like the delete key and the control Z key on my keyboard, so I'm not going to be clicking a lot of like undo buttons and crap. So now let's have Kaito stick his arm up in the air randomly. So like let's say it takes him about 30 frames. It depends on how big the action is. So actually let's go with 45. They might be a little slow because I'm paranoid. So then we just stick his arm up there. Miss Teacher, I had to go to the bathroom. That's great, Kaito. I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself. And then we hit the play button, and that was really slow, like I predicted, but his arm is going up, and the animation is very, very smooth. It's not very natural, but it's very, very smooth looking. So now that Kaito's done with being a retard, let's add another model, because you guys don't know how to use two models at once, and if you do, you usually have trouble moving them around. So I'm going to help you with that. Let's say we need to use Evil Kaito, mwahaha, his evil twin. That's right, I edited this model by myself. So here he is, Evil Kaito. I submitted him as a deviation, so if you wanted to download him, the download link is on the deviation. So here he is being all evil Kaito-y. So put his arms down because, like I said, that's extremely tiring. And we have to go back to... Crap, that was stupid of me. Now we have to move him... Like, if you press the select all button... I'm sorry, with the select all button, and these thingies don't pop up, or like if they're all shaded in gray, hit the center button and then press the select all button. And let's move him over. Put his arms down. Select all, register. And let's have him put his hand on his hip. Now we're going to go to frame 45 again, which will probably be too fast. And if it's not, then I'm going to be amazed. So put his hand on his hip, sort of. I don't know, let's bend his hand so that it like shapes to his hip. And then let's put his arm over here. There. And now let's stick his arm, like his hand out, so he's like, OMG! We could like have him lean on a leg and everything. That's awesome. So select all and register. And then he'll animate from this pose to this pose along with his good half person thingy. So now let's hit the play button, and they'll both move at the same time. Oh, and when I moved him over, did you notice that I hit the select all button then moved him over? Because if you hit the middle button and then you move him over, his feet tend to stay in place. And he's in mid-air right now, so if he falls down, he's going to break his hip and he might die. And I knew someone who had that mistake. Shinigami Sharingan. I'm not naming anybody. So now let's undo that because he looked stupid. And let's animate this thing. So center the camera once again and hit the play button. That was really, like, slow. Worst animation ever, but it's not bad for an example. Now, let's delete both of them because they're both stupid. And let's load Evil Rin. Mwahaha. Lin is all... I mean, why did I just call her Lin? Rin is already pretty evil if you've ever heard her music. Like, she kills people in, like, most of her songs. In this one song, Beer Garden she has, she cuts off people's hands and plants them in the garden. That's why I love her. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. So let's put her on... Well, first of all, let's go back to frame 0. Otherwise, we're going to have that same problem that I continue to keep having. Put her arms down, select all, and register. Now, let's say Rin has a leek in her hand. I know, it's Miku's leek, but Rin's special today. And this is Evil Rin, so she stole it. Evil Rin stole the leek from Miku. So, select all and register. And then we have to go to camera light and accessories. Now, camera light and okay. So this is where you load all the accessories in accessory manipulation. So you hit the load button, and these are just some extras. Like this is a guitar, and this is like the stuff from the recording studio. But so let's do this one. All right, now this is on the floor, in between her feet. I don't think it belongs there. So let's move it to Evil Rin Kagamine, and she's holding it in between her legs. That's not weird at all. Yes, it is. So it's in her center bone, because that's where her center bone is. So this is her right hand, I believe. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we have to move it to her right hand. I'm sorry, I can't talk. So let's do her middle right 3, because that's the third bone in her middle finger on her right hand. Wrong hand, I'm sorry. Let's move it to the other hand, which is the left hand. So it would be middle right there. There, now it's at the tip of her finger. Okay, so then we have to hit the register button, because otherwise it'll wind up in between her feet again on the floor, and we don't want that to happen because that's a pain in the ass. So let's, now notice whenever we move this finger, this bone, like if we rotated this bone around, the leek moves with it. And if we ever move it up and down, the leek goes with it. So I want to make her holding it in a fist. So I'm going to do that, and that may take a while because fists are a pain.